Welcome to another episode of the Get Hit podcast. I'm your host, El Picante, and let's get right to the show. We have to thank our sponsors again, Pharmadex Inc. Bring your pharmacy to you. Pharmadex Inc. is a pharmaceutical delivery services that offer rates starting at 199 for individual rates and for pharmaceutical rates, 49.99 for bulk purchases. Contact Pharmadex Inc. at PHARMEDX online, which is one word, .com to ask them for all your inquiries if you have any questions. Or feel free to email them at info at Pharmadex, which is info at Pharmadex, PHARMEDX online, one word, .com to ask about all your questions and inquiries. They also deal in medical supply, so feel free to check them out. I know the nurses, those who are looking for scrubs, I know you, and those who are looking for hydroabsorbent, what do you call it, wound closure materials, they got your back. So yeah, let's get right to the show. I've been doing a lot of thinking of late, and as always, that's how I feel like that's how I always start the show. I've been thinking. Of course, I've been thinking. If I wasn't thinking, then I wouldn't be here, would I? But yeah, I've been thinking a lot lately, and Jordan Peterson is the goat. He is the goat professor, and I really respect and adore his work so far. From the series that I've seen so far, it has nothing to do with feminism. It all has to do with the middle ground. In my opinion, I don't want to see like I'm emulating him, but I respect his work enough to honor him, in that sense of I don't want to be like him, but I feel like we share similar opinions. Yeah, which I would like to say, and that is a very important statement that I have made because nowadays people don't really understand the difference between emulating and honoring. If you're emulating somebody, you want to become like them, and that's their opinions become your opinions. But if you're honoring somebody, you are honoring them in the sense that you acknowledge that you share the same opinions. And now this is coming from a world that not a lot of people think. Not a lot of people want to think because thinking is so hard. The critical process of formulating ideas is now being dampened by already proposed thoughts from other people, aka we make other people think for us and we take their outputs and we make it our own. Damn, I'm smart sometimes, man. I just gotta applaud myself on that. But anyway, I've been listening to a lot of Jordan Peterson stuff, and today I was about to talk on homelessness, but I want to save that topic, and I want to bring Miss Diamond. Some of you know as Deb. I know as Deb. I know her as Deb. I want to reserve that topic, and I want to talk with her, you know, about homelessness. But yeah, anyway, let's get straight to it. So, porn is mind fucking you, bro. Pornography is mind fucking all of us. Yo, a lot of look, a lot of things that we don't do is because of our addiction to porn. And now compared to like the early 18th century as compared to now, the number one addiction suffered by individuals is now porn. It's pornography, porno. For my Ghanaians there, porno. When I say porno, porno. If you tell them say you watch porno every day, porno guy, porno boy, the porno. But yeah, it's look, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. The number one addiction today, apart from sugar, because sugar is there. Let's not forget. Okay, you know what? Let's turn it down to number two. The number two addiction now is porn. Yo, now the average amount of porn that is being consumed worldly is crazy. And I'm not just talking about the sites on TikTok. I'm talking about I'm sorry, I'm not just talking about the sites on like X videos, XNN. You know what? Yo, I know my pornographic side, bro. I used to dabble, but I'm not here to share those with you. But I'm talking about TikTok, man, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all these hoish behaviors, man. Bro, like, have you asked yourself that? Why can't you stop porn? The reason why you can't stop watching porn, and I think Jordan Peterson like gave a very, very, you know what? Let me say his name with respect because Doctor Jordan Peterson gave a very appropriate answer to this, and his answer was quite entertaining, and I relate. He said, and I quote, "The reason why we can't stop watching porn is that we think of porn, stopping to watch porn as a need of what do you call it, as a conflict with our lives. We want to, I'm okay. Let me paraphrase how I understood what he was saying. He said that the reason why we can't stop watching porn is that we think of it as a conflict to our life. Like you need to be sexual in order to be a human being. There are some extreme cases of asexuality, which is understandable, but I'm talking about in a more general sense, you need to be sexual in order to be human. Like, does that make sense? You need to be sexual in order to be human. And for that, I was thinking of it like he was trying to say that when you think of that nature as a conflict to your life, and in order to avoid it, you lose that sense of humanity of yourself. However, you need to think about you stopping porn as a self improvement of your already sexual life. In other sense, like if you stop watching porn, what type of benefits could you achieve apart from spending your time on porn? Right? Like, how would the change of porn influence your life in a positive way? And that's how he said we should think about it. And I commend him. That is a reasonable and logical aspect to it. However, I think that his theory is still incomplete. Actually, I don't think it's a theory. I think his fact is still incomplete. I think it's a semi-fact. And I'm here to add the second portion to it. The second portion to this thing is the reason why you and I find it difficult to stop watching porn is that we are overexposed to this shit, bro. It's an overexposure to sensitive and sensual things that make it hard for us to stop watching pornography. When you open Snapchat, is there. When you open Instagram, is there. When you open TikTok, is there. All your sources of entertainment, and even to the extent books, the salacious and lewd ones, books, to some extent, have pornography in them. So major sources of entertainment now has been deemed as social media, all constitutes of like aka prostitution. The OnlyFans page, the Snapchat page, the Instagram page, the TikTok twerking pages. Like almost every single time, there's not a day that goes by that you won't be exposed to sensual things. And you know the saying that women are like tell you know your sons to respect women and how they dress shouldn't really be a concern. I have some pushback on that. That's actually bullshit, though. How about you tell your daughters how to dress properly? It takes two to tango, man. It, First, I used to say it takes two to tango, but it's not tango. It takes two to tangle, like to make a knot. Or is it tango? You know what? We really have to find the word of that. I think it's tangle or tango. I'm not sure, but let's get back to the point. Like women are always like, how about you tell your sons how to dress like how to treat women, and they shouldn't focus on the way they dress. Okay, fine. How about we also tell our daughters how to dress appropriately? Let's not say that okay, what you wear is not an influence on the looks and the way you be treated. If that were true, every single person would treat a homeless person with respect. Because if appearance doesn't matter, why the fuck would you give a shit about the homeless person? Why do you categorize a person as homeless based on their appearance? If appearance wasn't really an issue, we wouldn't have titles. We wouldn't be like professional. We wouldn't even have titles for like professional attires. If appearance wasn't really an issue, why the fuck will you wear suits to some occasions? Why would wedding scenarios and wedding what do you call it wedding events, sorry, weddings are events. Why would weddings have dress attires? If appearance weren't an issue, why would you care how you looked at a job interview? All these you are like, it's social norms. It's social norms for a reason, man. And I feel like now we have to stop shitting on the traditional ways of things too much. I understand most of the traditional things were outdated, and we didn't have the technological advances that we have today, right? And as such, women had the better and worse end of the sticks at times, which is understandable. However, there are some social norms that I think should not be disregarded in the slightest. For example, the way women and men dress. It speaks volumes, man. Don't wear underwear. Bikinis are underwear, bro. Like, no matter how you think about it, it's an undergarment. Don't wear underwear. And when you get looks from certain guys, you're like, why the fuck are you looking at me like that? Don't wear clothes that lead to you overexposing yourself, right? You do look good. I will give you that. However, you can't control what another person would want to say to you. Because I find that selfish. You want to look good and you want to look a certain way. Well, that is on you. But you can't control how the world will respond to you. I would tell my sons to treat women with respect. And I would tell my sons, hey, it doesn't matter how a woman dresses, it doesn't mean that she's sexual. However, I'll say this, son, in some cases, when a woman dresses a certain way, she wants to be sexual. She wants to be sexualized. Let's not take that out of there, bro. Like, let's not pretend like women dress to suit their suitors and men also dress accordingly to suit their suitors. Or is it suitees or suitors? Or like, I know there's a feminine version of that. But let's get back to the point though. Let's not pretend like all these women out there, right, are just dressing for themselves. That is bullshit. Any single woman that would be like, I'm just dressing for myself to look good, or any single guy that you're saying that you're just dressing for yourself to look good, you're full of shit. You are full of shit. If you didn't care about your appearance, right, why would you dress to look good for yourself? Let's not pretend like most women, or I'll say what, 98% of women dressing and wearing all those shabby clothes are looking for a compliment somehow. Whether it's likes, whether it's a compliment from another guy, provided you reject the compliment. However, you do acknowledge whether it's psychological, no, whether it's unconsciously or consciously. What the fuck am I saying? Whether you acknowledge consciously or unconsciously, you acknowledge the fact that you are being complimented by them. Whether you reject them or not, it's not the problem. The fact that you receive a compliment is your acknowledgement of how your appearance looks to the outside world. You're full of shit if you tell me that you don't dress to appease the opposite sex or the same sex if you're lesbian. That is bullshit, bro. To some extent, like some women can't even go outside without makeup on their faces. Do you know how problematic that is? You're so insecure about your natural face that you rather spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on powdery products to make you look good so that you could go outside and then shit on another guy who's not wearing makeup. You're psychologically ill. You're mentally ill, bro. If you can't leave your house without makeup, there's something wrong with you. There's fundamentally, I'm not saying this to shame anybody, bro. If you can't leave your house, right, without makeup on your face, on your natural face, if you can't leave the house without like cherishing your natural looks, if you can't leave the house without not wearing a wig, like weave-ons, extensions, nails and shit, bro, there's something fundamentally wrong with you. Like, the to me, I personally think that the fact that you have to go buy outside attachments to make yourself feel complete in the name of you looking good to yourself is bullshit. Yo, okay, if looking good, right, was really for yourself, why do most women nowadays want big butts? Because you don't see your butt. You look, you don't see your ass, bro. You don't see your ass. Your ass is at your back. Unless you're a witch and you have eyes at the back of your head, you don't see your back. People see your back. Other people see your back. The only way you can see your back is when you're looking in the mirror. And even that, you have to turn your head at a certain angle to get your back. Or you have to have two mirrors. That's the only way you could see your back. If you didn't care that much about your appearance, why the fuck are you working on squats every single day for your butt to look big? It makes no fucking sense. How the fuck does that make sense? How does that make sense? And guys, if you don't care about your looks so much, why do you wear the Jordans and expensive shit? The difference is that guys do know what you're doing. Guys give a fuck. They're like, bitches wear these. Bitches like these, bro. We know this because it works. I have known women who will fuck guys because of the shoes on their feet, bro. That is crazy, fam. You are literally willing to give up your womanhood because of the way a guy is dressed. Really, nigga? What the fuck? Bro, this okay, look, let's come back to the standard, bro. This is how porn fucks people up every single time. And I'm not gonna say this, bro. Every single time we are overexposed. And it's not only women, bro. Men too are doing the most. Those gray sweatpants that you're fucking wearing, fam, to show your dick print. You are over sexualizing and over sensualizing the women, bro. What will happen if you keep it in your pants? You know what you're doing, bro. You know what the fuck you're doing. Guys, bare shedded. On now it's like it's so fucking difficult to see like a guy with a nice physique talk without a shirt on. Sorry, it's so hard to see a guy with a nice physique talk with the shirt on. Almost every single TikTok video, these well built because I'll give to them, they're well built. Almost every single TikTok video, they're shirtless. Bro, did you forget how to wear a shirt or what? Did, did you forget how to wear a shirt all of a sudden? And the girls are like, "Oh, daddy, I wanna grate cheese on your abs. Oh my god, daddy, spit in my mouth, bro. You want someone to spit in your fucking mouth? I don't even like spitting on animals. You want another human being to spit in your mouth? Yo, those people, yo, that brings me. Those people with those fetishes is crazy. When I was watching porn, right? There used to be this scene where this man, like, I was watching a certain scene, and all of a sudden I saw this, like, what do you call it? This man just like, fucking the girl, and then he held the girl's mouth open and just spat in it. I stopped watching immediately. Why the fuck will you spit in somebody's mouth? Like, oh my god, yeah, open your mouth. What the fuck, yo, yo, bro, what the fuck, fam, yo, like, open your mouth, and the girl's like, yeah, daddy, bro. Yo, fam, I am crazy, bro. I'm doing this by myself. I'm so crazy. I'm laughing by myself and doing all these things by myself. Damn, maybe I might be sick. Maybe I've been over sensualized and over sexualized by the surroundings around me that now I have to talk to myself. Fuck you mean? But yeah, bro, like, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy, and we must admit it. It's a crazy thing to do. It's a crazy thing to do. You know? Guys and girls, man. Women and men. We need to get our shit together. And we need to stop watching porn, bro. The free accessibility of porn has become detrimental to our society. Because Jordan Peterson made an excellent. Sorry, Professor Jordan Peterson made an excellent point. He said that although when porn is exposed to more strict societies, it helps bring down the sexual levels. And he made this analysis, but I didn't think he finished. He said, but we are looking at like a uni side analysis of it, right? However, I think he forgot to make this point, or maybe he made it in his other videos, right? I think he forgot to state that that was the short term effect of the addition or of the exposure of pornography in such strict societies. And the long term exposure of things, what happens is that the extreme version starts to occur. Now that most men and women have been exposed to pornography, in the long term run, it becomes extreme. So that in turn heightens the sexual act committed. Because just like weed, the potency of porn always has to be increased and as close to the real one as you could get. That is why when most men watch porn, they want to try with their women. They're like, yo, I saw this shit in porn. I'm going to try with my woman, right? Because the efficacy of porn, yo, like porn is a drug, but the efficacy of porn is too great that the human body becomes intolerant over a long exposure of the time. Have you realized that whenever you're watching porn, right? Whenever you watch your old videos, if you find it hard to come to your old videos, you have to wait and watch like you you now spend a lot of time looking for the perfect porn to come to because the exposure, the efficacy of porn is too great, fam. It's too great. It's too great. The potency of porn. Now your body becomes like first you used to watch for like first it didn't take you a minute, right? And those are the adverse effects. Some it makes their sexual it makes them come into porn longer, and some it makes them come quicker. That is those adverse effects happen on an individual level differently for people, right? And I think that should be a crazy study that I think I'm gonna undertake in my statistic course, like what porn has done to like the average minutes of sexual times. I think maybe it has made it longer or lesser, but anyway, that's not what we're talking about. The efficacy of porn is too great for the mind. Like the mind, to me, the mind is built in a way that pleasure becomes addiction. If you take so much pleasure in your work, you're more likely to become addicted to your work. If you take pleasure in porn, it's likely to become addiction. If you take pleasure in smoking weed, it becomes an addiction. It's far greater to become addiction in the near future, right? So that is how I've broken down the mind. And I think like the like self control is something that we thought was old fashioned, and spontaneous the spontaneity of things and the randomness of things. I mean, because the world now doesn't really function in a timely manner, in the sense of like for example, the work times that we have, right? It fucks with your sleeping schedule, right? You as a human being, you need habits in order to live. So what porn does is that porn is a randomness, and the body doesn't like randomness. However, because it's a pleasure, in, instead of the pleasure catering to the timetable of the body, because the brain finds it more pleasurable, because it releases more endorphins, it makes you feel good in the moment. The body then the mind then repurposes certain neurons in order to function or in order to adapt to the pleasure, and that is fucking crazy, because that is how, religiously speaking, something becomes your god. When you repurpose your mind in order to follow that thing, that is how that thing becomes your god. Because instead of that thing adapting to your body, your whole body is adapting to that thing. Did I just explain God and addiction and science, like in religion and science, bro? Did God made my mind great or not? Like, give a clap to God. You know, clap for God. But it's crazy, man. It's so fucking crazy. Like the old porn that you used to watch, you can't come to it twice. Sometimes you have to wind all the way. You have to see all sort of different porn in order to come to that. And then you watch it and you're like, what did I even see pleasurable in this in the first place that made me be my me? That means you're losing the tolerance of your body. It's now higher for porn. Now you have to look for extreme shit. And I think maybe that's how fetishes develop. I sometimes feel like people have tested out so many things that they need to go to the extreme. Maybe that is how some billionaires operate, right? Because it's like they've watched porn, all this fucking porn they could have. They've had all the fucking women that they could have, right? And then straight men start dabbling into men. You know, they're like, I've watched porn. I've had all the women that I want. I wonder how it would feel to have men. You know? Then they dabble in it. They're like, men is great. Let me see with kids and animals. In my mind, that's how I feel like the cycle goes, because when you become oversaturated and when your body becomes tolerable, like more tolerant to certain shit, you start looking for stronger shit. That is how drug addiction starts. Porn is a drug addiction that progresses into all these massive and violent rape crimes that we see. The suppressants, like Professor Jordan Peterson said it properly. He's like, you need deprivation in order to survive. Deprivation creates desire. That is what he said, and that's true. If you if you deprive yourself of chicken, right, for a whole month, I'm telling you, when you taste good chicken for the first time, I'm saying decent chicken, you'll be like, oh my god, that is the best food you've ever had. It's because you've deprived your body of a certain essence that your life used to run off. Porn is fucking our minds up, man. Porn is fucking our minds up. And it's crazy because our feeble minds can't tolerate this. Yeah, our minds hold great capacities. However, the deterioration of our neural links is all based on addictions. When you become addicted to something, that is when your body and your mind, especially when it's not knowledge, that is when it starts deteriorating. Sex deteriorates people. That is why most sex addicts are not smart. Most sex addicts are not smart. When you That is how most people rise to the top, like the virgins, like the so-called nerds, because they were deprived of sex. So in other ways, they had more brain capacity to function, and they've looked for elusive ways in order to function to get the other mate. Maybe that is how the wheel was invented. Maybe the skinnier guy, being so much deprived of sex, had to use his mind more, and therefore developing the wheel, if you believe in evolution and that shit, right? But anyway, if you really want a strong mental base for yourself, I think you need to stop porn and you need to stop sex in general. And here's what I've also learned: lust, you cannot be selective with lust. You cannot be like, I'm going to stop porn, but I'm going to kiss my girl every single now and then. Maybe you could do that. But I found like for myself, it's either I'm all in or I'm not in. You know, like I feel like sometimes you have to challenge your girl, like, don't kiss her. How about like you find ways to re-love each other, like physical contact. I'm talking about like in terms of like sometimes ask yourself, when was the last time you truly hugged her without kissing or without holding her ass? Just like hugged her, just like a good bare friend hug. When was the last time you did that to your girl? Everything has become sexual, and I feel like all these exposure and yo, porn is not. You know what? Fuck, porn is not just this one place like X videos and Pornhub and whatever it is and Playboy. I don't know. It's all these ever exposures to TikTok, Instagram, and all these women wearing like indecent dresses. Although men should respect women, women should also respect themselves enough to dress appropriately. And I do not think that is a lot asking men to respect the way women dress. However, I also do not think it's a lot to ask women to dress appropriately. What will happen if you cover your tits? Will you die? Will you die if you cover your tits, man? What will happen if you wear baggier clothes? Will you die? What will happen if, for once in a month, you don't show your whole body to the internet? What will happen? Will you die? What will happen if you don't do sexual videos online? Let's not pretend like these girls don't know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing because sex sells. What will happen? Will you die, bro? Will you die? Anyway, shout out to the homeless people, man. Like Farmadex Inc. has a project homeless coming up. We like Deborah Miss Diamonds is the project coordinator for Farmadex Inc. Project Homeless. It's all about helping homeless people, zero profits to Farmadex. It's coming up. So I think next week or next 2 weeks when she's free, we'll give her a shout. And if she wants to join us and let's talk about homelessness, that would be great. But anyway, thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Get Hip Podcast with Gang here. Please check out our YouTube at the Get Hip Podcast on YouTube and on. I mean, if you're listening on SoundCloud. Please subscribe, like, share, repost. We always appreciate our listeners. You know, we are very grateful. And a big shout out to once again to Pharmadex Inc. Bring your pharmacy to you. With individual rates starting at 199. There's a delivery rate and 10 cents. I think 10 cents per kilometer. And also, they only I forgot this. They only operate in the GTA, the Greater Toronto area. So not available in America and other parts of the outside Ontario and even a small part of Ontario. Yeah. So please check out their website for more information. Thank you. Bah! Love you guys.